Do you need recommendations for books like some of your favorites? Don't ask me, ask GPT. Hey guys, Pat here with 52 Books. Lately I've been playing with Elon Musk's new baby, GPT. Have y'all seen this? It's crazy. It is sort of a artificial intelligence chat engine. I guess if any of y'all are as old as me, you might remember GPT's great-great-grandmother from back in the 80s. It was called Eliza. It was supposed to be a program that was that you could chat with, and it would generate responses that seemed to be coming from an actual person. It was not very good at that, and nothing was really good at that task for years and years. And then along comes Siri and Alexa, and they've been pretty good at that, but you know, ChatGPT just blows them clean out of the water. I've read some business pundit a few days ago suggesting that ChatGPT may stand a chance of driving Google completely out of business within the next couple of years. But anyway, I've been playing with this thing. It's like playing with a stick of dynamite. I asked it to give me a list of authors similar to some of my favorites, like H.P. Lovecraft and Robert E. Howard and Fritz Leiber. And without even hardly thinking a millisecond, it starts to rattle off a list of authors. Like, it gives me 14 authors in this list, only 4 of which I've read the works of. So the list includes Clark Ashton Smith, August Derleth, Ramsey Campbell, Michael Moorcock, Clark Edward Wagner, C.L. Moore, Jack Vance, Manly Wade Wellman, Frank Belknap Long, Brian Lumley, Tanith Lee, Joanna Russ, Richard Matheson, and Neil Gaiman. So I marked off the ones that I'd already read, including Michael Moorcock, Jack Vance, Richard Matheson, and Neil Gaiman. Everybody's read Neil Gaiman these days. But that leaves me with a list of 10 authors that ChatGPT says are perhaps as good as Lovecraft, Howard, and Leiber. Clark Ashton Smith. Has anybody read this guy? I haven't. August Derleth, Ramsey Campbell. I actually had a brief online conversation with Ramsey Campbell a few weeks ago, and I have got one of his books, but I have not gotten to it yet. Carl Edward Wagner, C.L. Moore, Manly Wade Wellman. I looked up some of these guys on Wikipedia, and it said that Manly Wade Wellman was from Louisiana. All of the guys that I've looked up sound like they're like absolute grandmasters, and some of the articles about them say that they're easily equal to Lovecraft or Howard. Brian Lumley, of course, I've heard of him, but I haven't read anything by him. Tanith Lee, of course, I've heard of her. I think that she was voted one of the science fiction fantasy grandmasters a few years ago. And Joanna Russ. So I'll certainly be picking some of these up. If y'all have read some of these guys that I haven't, let me know, because I'm always looking for a new author, especially one that stands a chance of being as prodigious as Fritz Leiber or Robert Howard or H.P. Lovecraft. Okay guys, I've also been doing this BookTube noob thing where they ask a series of questions and I answer them. Most people answer them all in one fell swoop, but I decided that I would answer one per video. So now we're on to question number 4, which is, why do you love reading? Well, from time immemorial, like as long as I can remember, all the coolest people that I ever knew were readers. All the teachers, all the librarians, my parents, my father had, he maintained subscriptions to U.S. News and several newspapers and magazines throughout his life, and he would sit there and read every single word of every one of them, sometimes over and over, sometimes marking passages to come back to. He was a fanatical reader. I still remember several stories that my mom read to me, like The Rats of Nim. Who remembers that one? So reading was important to all the people that were important in my life when I was young, so it became important to me. My parents and my teachers always said that reading was the mother skill, meaning that if you can learn to read, you can learn anything else, because you can read about all the other fields to learn. Somebody else said one time that reading is like a form of telepathy. It's like the only way that we've got to get ideas out of the heads of other people. I guess you could have a conversation with them, but you can't have a conversation with Aristotle or George Washington or any of the authors of the books of the Bible. So reading is like a way to time travel. It's a way of telepathy. And some old dead guy who is not Mark Twain. Mark Twain did not actually say this, but some other old dead guy apparently did say that the man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. So those are some of the reasons that I love to read, and that sort of gets back to why I want to do this booktube thing. It's because I love reading, and I love chatting with other people who love reading. So if you're like me, if any of these things, if any of my reasons for loving reading resonate with you, then hop on in and have a conversation with me. All right, so if you like this sort of content, like, subscribe, and come on over to Facebook and chat with us. Thank you.